one.
All right, so I'm gonna, thanks Jody for passing it over. I'm gonna show you how, at a very sort of high level, how I've embedded some of the resources that you've seen from the FNMIEAO website into a Google Classroom, and then I'll show you what it looks like in Brightspace, which are the sort of the two main virtual learning environments that seem to be in use right now. So in Google Classroom, you could either do it within an existing classroom, or you could build a separate one specifically for this subject matter. So for example, I might have built one for social studies. So I'm gonna go to classwork. And if you're familiar with Google Classroom, you know under classwork, you can build out assignments and material, quizzes and things like that. And so what I did to kind of keep things nicely organized for the students is under create, I created a topic. And so I basically pulled this window up. I entitled it Unit 1, Who We Are, which coincides with the unit title from the resource on the website. And so I've got that here. And then I built out an assignment corresponding with lesson 1. And so again, if you're new to Google Classroom, under create, you would just go assignment, and then you can title it, give some basic instructions, and then add the resources. Over to the right, you can allocate to which students you want it to go to, determine whether you're going to grade it or ungrade it or leave it ungraded. Set a due date, and again, under topic, I can send it to that topic, Unit 1, Who We Are. And so I've done that already, so I'm just going to show you what this looks like once it's built, and you can kind of see all the parts that are there. So here we are. So there's the title, Lesson 1, Where We Come From, and again, that coincides with the resource that you saw on the site. Again, I've added some sort of language around sort of introducing the idea to the students as they sort of are introduced into the lesson, and then give them sort of an overview of what they're going to experience. So in lesson 1, they're going to learn about the Moose Creek community. I'm asking them to watch the video, and I'm linking the video straight from, I grabbed the link from the FNMI site, okay, and I just, when I built that lesson or assignment out, there's the option to add different things, and you can add a link, so you can see the Vimeo link is there. So this way, I've limited in terms of where the students are getting to and what they have to go and click on. Everything's sort of built in and housed right within the assignment in the Google Classroom for them. So they can click on the first link here, and it would open the video in Vimeo, which is where those videos are housed. And then on the other side, I've linked to the PDF for the unit. And so if I click on this, you can see there's the Unit 1 PDF. And the nice thing about how they've designed and built this is that students can input right into the PDF. And so they can respond to the questions and the reflection questions right in the PDF. And then they can save it and continue on. So if I go back here, that's embedded in the first lesson, okay? And then if you're familiar with Google Classroom, you can see that it's been assigned to some students, and in this case, these are our daughters that we've put in this virtual classroom as sample students, but you can see that it's been assigned, and I'm waiting for them to be turned in, okay? So I'm gonna go back to the classwork section, and under lesson 2, you can see that I've given some outlines to the topic, which is where we live, some instructions, and then I'm pointing them back into that original PDF. So they're gonna basically grab it in the first lesson and then continue to go back to that same file. And I'm directing them where I want them to go within that PDF to activity 3. And again, I've directly linked to the video that corresponds to activity 3 in this particular one. Okay, and so that's basically how I've set it up. And as you can see, I've built it out as an entire unit. and it would release the lessons as we went through the unit and learned together. And so with that, I'm going to take a moment, and I will now show you what this could potentially also look like in Brightspace. Okay, so now that we've seen what embedding the resource in Google Classroom looks like, I'm going to just quickly show you what it looks like in Brightspace, which is also known as D2L, which is sort of the other main virtual learning environment that is in use in the province at the moment. So in Brightspace, you have an announcement section where students land when they enter the virtual learning classroom. So I've just built out, maybe I'm going to introduce the unit. So I've just built out an announcement here, truth and reconciliation in the classroom, a little welcome. And I would then either embed it right in the announcement, or if they're familiar with it, they would know for today's lesson that we're going to go to the content section. Just give it a second to load. And so in the new version of Brightspace, it allows us to design units. And so along the left-hand side, you can see there's unit 1, similar to what we saw in Google Classroom. And if I expand this, I've got similarly lesson 1 and lesson 2 that I've built out here so that you can see. So again, if you're new to Brightspace, how I did that was basically I created the new unit by clicking the new unit button, gave it the title that corresponds with the resource from the FNMI EAO site. And then to add the lessons, I just go over here to the add existing. I click on that, and you can see there's a wide range of things that I can choose. And so in this case, I chose, where did I choose? I think I maybe chose the assignment one in this one, and then it comes down into here. Oh, sorry, not add exists, create new, my bad. Create a new lesson. And so anyway, so I'm gonna create a new lesson, and I can give it, I'll just name it lesson 3, which would be the next one in the sequence. Okay, just to give you a sense of what this is gonna look like. And so you can see there it is underneath. And in Brightspace, it defaults to being hidden, so you can kind of construct things. So I'm gonna go back up to lesson 1. And similarly to what we did in Google Classroom, I've built out some description in terms of what the students are going to see and engage in the lesson. And then down below, I've embedded the embed code for the Vimeo video. Now, the way the privacy settings are set up, it won't actually play within Brightspace, but if I click on the watch on Vimeo, it does work. It does open up the video for the students to watch. And again, it saves them from having to go to the site, find the right video out of the video collection that's housed there, and then come back to Brightspace. They can all kind of do it just from clicking within the virtual classroom. And then underneath, I've built a link to, again, that same PDF. You can see it'll open up here. There it is. So this is sort of the unit package that we'll work through together as a class as we watch the videos and discuss things that are happening in the unit and things that we're learning. So if I go back to Brightspace, again, I can show you lesson 2, same thing. I've embedded the video and I'm directing them back into that original PDF that they got in lesson 1. And the reason that I'm doing that is because they've created that PDF in such a way that students can input. We can't really extract individual portions of it and use them separately. So if you use it as one sort of complete file for the entire unit and just direct students back into it, it works best, and it allows them to be able to input into the PDF. And so that's kind of what it looks like in Brightspace. And so you can see the resource is easily embedded within either of the two sort of main virtual learning environments, and it makes it very easy to use in instruction and very accessible for students. So with that, I'm going to throw it back over to Jody and Tisa.